Hi, it's me again, Alan from ABTS Training Services in London, England. Um, I've had so many people contact me this week. I'm swamped with people contacting me, and it's all because of that disaster in Baltimore. When the vessel, the Dali, hit the bridge. I'm sure you're aware of it. Um, And people have been contacting me and saying, Alan, what are the ramifications if I had cargo on board that vessel going to the buyer and on a letter of credit? That was one of the main questions being asked. And the second question people were panicking about was insurance. Am I insured? I have a CIP, a CIF contract. Am I insured if my cargo is one of the apparently 18 um, 20-foot containers that were dislodged on board? If one of those was mine, does my insurance cover it? So let's just address those 2 points on this short video and to remind you of that desperate tragedy. A vessel called the Dali was in Baltimore Harbor, had just left Baltimore Harbor in the USA, making its way to Sri Lanka. Barely got out of the harbor, and for reasons yet to be ascertained, hit the Francis Scott Key Bridge, brought the bridge down. Unfortunately, there were fatalities, brought the bridge down and dislodged up to 19 containers, of which I believe some were hazardous cargo. So that's the background to the panic phone calls I received and messages, etc., about my cargo. So, as I say, it's going to be a fairly brief answer to those questions. So let's address the question on a letter of credit. I have shipped on board that vessel a 20-foot container for Sri Lanka. I'm selling goods to Sri Lanka. I'm being paid by a documentary letter of credit. And that is stuck on that bridge, and we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know if the bank would pay me. So where are we? Where are we at that? It's a very simple, well, no, it's not simple answer. Nothing in international trade is simple. I wish it was, but it's not. So I'm going to my good old friend UCP 600. Now, those of you watching who have finished our letter of credit course will know the answer already, but let's do it again. And I refer you to Article 14 in UCP 600. Now, one of the documents that I would have received from the vessel Dali when my container was loaded was a bill of lading. And as it on this mythical letter of credit I received from the buyer, I'm presupposing, like most letters of credit, it would have asked for one full set of shipped on board bills of lading. Okay, now there I am, worried sick. My cargo is on this vessel. The vessel isn't going anywhere. Will I get paid? Will the bank honor that letter of credit? Or will the bank turn around to me and say, well, we're not paying you for those. We all know, we all read the news, we all watch television. It's stuck in Baltimore, stuck against a bridge. And we don't know when it's going, when our client will receive it. So we're not going to pay you. Okay, no. You can't do that. So what I'm saying is, in a very brief answer, banks, and I'm quoting you here, A nominated bank, and please bear with the blah, blah, blah bit, but let's do it. A nominated bank acting on its nomination, a confirming bank, if any, and the issuing bank must examine a presentation to determine, and this is where it kicks in, on the basis of the documents alone, on the basis of the documents alone, whether or not the documents appear, and watch this, on their face to constitute a complying presentation. So what it's saying is, no, banks will pay you, or banks have to pay you, if all other documentation on the letter of credit is in order, because you have presented to them a shipped on board, or a full set, 3 originals, 3 copies, shipped on board bills of lading. Now, the bank clerk can sit there and they are saying, well, I know this vessel is stuck. And it's not going anywhere. And my client ain't getting his cargo. They still have to pay you. Because, first of all, letters of credit, as I always say on our letters of credit course and when I'm talking here, letters of credit are not of the real world. They only deal in bits of paper. And as long as you present the bank with compliant bits of paper subject to UCP 600, they got to pay you. So for those people who have contacted me in panic mode and said, will the bank pay me? I have goods on that vessel. Will the bank pay me? And the simple answer is yes. On a letter of credit, if your goods comply, or if your documentation complies with the letter of credit requirements and UCP 600. And banks can't say, oh no, that vessel is stuck there. No. They've got to judge every document on its face value. And you have a bill of lading that says shipped, the past tense, gone, shipped. It doesn't say in brackets, unfortunately, stuck in Baltimore port. So I hope that dispels any fears you have there. You're okay. Once your documents comply to the letter of credit requirements, and unfortunately the vessel is stuck against the bridge, you still get paid. That's the first point. The second point was, I insured my cargo. Will I get paid? The broad answer to that is yes, you will if you've insured your cargo. Because again, for those of you who have studied the import-export course I run, will know that basically there are 3 types of marine insurance cover. Clause A, Clause B, and Clause C. Now, Clause A is for the want of a better word, the Rolls-Royce of marine cover. It's all risks insurance. Clause B and Clause C is limited cover. But all of them, and I'm just taking out a page, bear with me, it's a bit blah-de-blah blah again. All risks insurance A, if you have all risks insurance, yes, your container, if damaged, is covered. All risks. If you have Clause B insurance, it's still covered, although it is less covered than Clause A. And I'm going to do a blah, blah, blah here a bit for you. Clause B covers Fire, explosion, stranding, grounding, capsizing, overturning, derailment of land conveyance, collision other than water, a bridge, discharge of cargo at a port of distress. I won't blah, blah, blah too much. But there you have it. You are covered under Clause B, under collision other than water. I'm going to Clause C, fire and explosion, stranding and grounding, capsizing, overturning, derailment of a land conveyance, collision other than water. Okay, so I hope you can rest at night now and realize, yeah, I'm on a letter of credit, and as long as my documentation complies with the letter of credit, I know that the bank, no matter what they hear on the news or on social media about the vessel, unfortunately, hitting the bridge, I'll still be paid. Because the bank will look at those documents, make sure they comply with the letter of credit, and even if they know that vessel ain't going anywhere and the buyer ain't getting their cargo, they only examine the documents on their face value. And the face value on my bill of lading says shipped. That shipping line, Dali, said shipped. They're shipped. They're on the way to Sri Lanka. I'm not making light of the situation, but with a little hiccup in Baltimore, USA. Okay. And the second point was, am I insured if I insured my cargo? Yes, you should be. No matter whether you have Clause A, Clause B, Clause C, you are covered for collision other than water among the clauses in there. All of what I said is covered on two of the courses I run. One is the letter of credit course, and the other one is the import-export course. So if you're one of my students that is currently studying or who has studied the course, I'd be very disappointed if you contacted me and asked me those questions, because I'd come back and say to you, you spent good money training on one of my courses, and I've already covered that on my course. Why the heck are you ringing me? Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye, and my condolences to those people who lost their lives on that bridge. A great tragedy indeed. It doesn't happen too often, but a great tragedy. So until the next time, I'll say goodbye. Take care. And please keep the questions coming in. And if I think enough of you would be interested in an answer to the questions, I'll come on here and go blah, 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 blah to you. So until the next time, take care. Goodbye now.